Hello and welcome to Full Throttle, and I would like to talk to you about the United Arab Emirates. For you see, they are a country that their entire taste in everything, from their buildings down even to their cars even, have always been the same, and that is style over substance. I mean, if you look at the Etihad Tower, you can see that it you can see that it looks good, but it's barely functional. It's the same with their cars, actually, the cars they buy. And so they thought, let's try and build a car. And this is the result of their endeavors. The W Motors Lykan Hypersport. Now from the get-go, from the start, from the looks, it kind of looks business as usual. It kind of looks like Arab madness. I mean, if you look down here at everything, even like everything's been given attention to detail. Even that, as you can see there, diamonds and gold. That's how mad they are. Like, just from that, and even if you could see, like, inside here, there are actually bits of wheat gold woven into the paint, which means that just to look at it is expensive. It kind of has the looks suited down to a T. But the question is this actually, this is actually trying to be a hypercar to compete with Ferrari, Lamborghini, and the newest entry, Pagani. But does it? Can this be the world's first Arab hypercar? To find out, I took it to Japan. You join me here in Japan on the mountains, where I am testing out the newest car for the hypercar tryouts, the W Motors Lykan Hypersport. But it may be made in the most lavish place ever, Abu Dhabi, but is it a hypercar? Now, in order for it to be a hypercar, it first must pass a couple of tests. Speed, it passes. Actually, speed, oh, very much yes so. Thanks to a 3.7 litre V6 flat 6 engine, turbocharged engine actually, this produces about 780 brake horsepower, which is good, at 4,000 RPM, really good. The 0 to 60 time is hypercar territory, has to be 2.8 seconds, which it is. The top speed has to be somewhere around 240, which it is. And all that is thanks to a 6-speed transmission, which, honestly, actually, it has to have a ridiculous price, £2 million, which this does, and it has to be lavished in luxury. Which, I mean, come on, just take one look at it. You would know that the headlights, diamonds, the the lever stitching in the seating, it is gold thread. And as the car itself has to perform well on both the road and the track. And on the road, I have to say, whoa, despite me thrashing it about, the ride's so smooth for being so fast, and the gearbox feels really good. Let's see, the flat 6 engine, listen to that. Just listen to the sound of the engine. I mean, that is a good sounding engine, don't you think? I mean, I always maintain that if you want to have fun, use a flat 6 motor. I mean, this just hits the spot. I mean, and also as well, inside as well as it being lavishly equipped, the LED display, like beside me here, that is 3D and holographic, actually, and has holograms on it, which means it is really, really expensive. All of it combined, it does cost £2 million. But for that, actually, which honestly, this kind of makes it good value compared to, well, it's in the same sort of bracket as most hypercars. But this is special because this is rarer. Only 7 of these will ever be made. And actually, well, no, I tell a lie. 7 have been made, but thanks to the makers of Fast and Furious, who bought 4 of them, there are only 3 left in the world. And I'm driving one. Which makes this car actually, if you can get your hands on one that is, quite special. But the question on your mind and everyone else's mind is it any good? Well, round corners, it is fun. I mean, mid-engine, all you need is mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, which this is, so that means you can belt around corners like this. Oh god, it's so fun. I mean, it's addicting too. I mean, it's not even needlessly complicated. It's easy. It's easy to drift this thing. I mean, the doors as well are, actually, let's see, the looks of the car, it's fantastic. It hits the hypercar note for looks right there. It looks exquisite because it comes from Abu Dhabi, where they like their cars to be exquisite and finite, which this is. There's only a couple of problems as far as I see it. One, the diamond headlamps, which are unneeded, to be honest. If they were LEDs, fine, but since then, no. And you know what? On the roads, pretty good. Now, is it any good at the track, you wonder? Because most hypercars are. Well, to find out, I am going to take this car to the test track here in Japan, so I can find out. You join me here on the test track in Japan, where I am belting around in a W Motors Lykan Hypersport. And well, first thing I gotta say is on the track, it is really, really smooth. It's very smooth on the front and the rear axles, thanks to a McPherson strut anti-roll bar system in the front axle and a multi-link suspension at the back, which means that given any corner at any speed, you can be sure that you're going around as smoothly as possible when drifting around, even in insane speeds like this. Even when you're drifting around like this, the suspension, look, it's still coping. I'm still being able to talk to you smoothly. The brakes, they are 6-piston aluminium monoblock calipers, ceramic discs. They're made of ceramics, so that means that you get that means that they're tough, they're sustainable, they can work, and they are actually quite good. They stop at a reasonable amount of distance, and they work beautifully when the car needs to go around corners. The wheels are perfect. The wheels, they're on aero tires, but they're not as sticky. Actually, they're sticky, but not too sticky, which means you could still belt around it. You could still do what I'm doing right now and hooning it around. I mean, even in there's only, as far as I see it, this car is actually a driver's dream. I mean, it's fast, really, really fast, as I am proving right now. It handles good. For hooligans, it can drift around like I just did there now with that. And well, honestly, the bodywork is aerodynamic, which means that the air flowing around the front is being pushed towards the rear wing, as you see right there at the back, giving me more downforce, which is why the body is sculpted that way. It's sort of scientific. I mean, that's not a word that you hear very often when it comes to Arabs. No offense to any Arab viewers, if there are any. But as far as I see it, that's where the problems start to creep in, per se. and it is with the science and technology. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is brilliant. It's a fast car, but I just think that the technology is making it a bit boring, a bit bland, which are both words that I don't want to use in a hypercar. Boring and bland. And so for that reason, we move on to the final verdict, which is kind of a hard one, but I thought about it and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good car, but only ruined by the technology. It's not worth the money, but wait till it goes now. Or buy yourself a better hypercar. But, so that's the score overall. So how fast is it compared to the other cars we tested? Well, I'm going to hand you over to our racing driver who's at Brandon's hatch to find out.